Hi guys, good morning. Mr. Brenner over here. Hope you're all doing well and ready for yet another lesson on this Thursday. What we're going to be getting into today is writing fractions, decimals, and percentages by looking at various images that are showing us fractions. Okay, and on the screen over here we have an example that I'm going to explain through, and then I'm going to do another example to get you started with your activity. Okay, so yesterday we focused on how to take a fraction and then convert it to a decimal. If you have forgotten, if you need to recap, please go back to yesterday's lesson, watch the video, go through the activity again before you get started. Okay, so let's get into it. With the example on the left hand side, we have a square that has been divided into a certain amount of pieces. Okay, and it has been divided into 100 smaller blocks or squares. Okay, now we know how to write a fraction, okay, because we've been doing it now for the past couple of weeks, and it says there that 64 over 100 or 64 hundredths is what the fraction is showing us. Okay, what does that mean? Let's break it down again. So our numerator, which is the 64, okay, that is how many pieces are shaded, and the 100 is telling us that is how many blocks there are in total. Okay, you can do a count, you can check it out for yourself. There are 100 blocks. How do we write it as decimal? Remember, I spoke to you yesterday about, in order to know how many decimal places you need to use to the right of your comma or decimal comma, you need to look at the amount of zeros in your denominator. Your denominator plays a vital role in understanding how you would write your decimal. And correctly, we can see that it is 0.64. Okay, try to avoid saying 0.64. It is not 64, it is 0.64. There are 6 tenths and 4 hundredths. Okay, don't forget, you are more than welcome to refer back to yesterday's lesson. Introducing the new concept today. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Whenever you have something with a denominator over 100, it is giving us percentage as well. Okay, for example, I'm going to say Mr. Brenner received 67 out of 100 for his exam. Okay, just an example. I can write that as percentage as well, which is going to be 64%. All you need to do is, when it's out of 100, 67%. Okay, all you need to do is, when you have a fraction over 100, you can write it as percentage as well. Okay, so remember that anything out of 100 can be written as percentage. I hope that makes sense, and I'm going to move on to the next example. Alright, number 1 is telling us there's another square. The square has now been divided up into a certain amount of pieces. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That has been divided into 10 pieces. Guys, I'm going to do my fraction first, and my fraction would be something out of 10. Okay, and How many pieces are shaded out of the 10 pieces? Yes, that's correct. I've heard that. It is 8 out of 10 pieces. Now guys, I have a bit of a problem here. In order for me to get me going with percentage, okay, I need to have that out of 100. But let's not stress about that now. So that is what my fraction will look like. Can anybody tell me what my decimal will look like? Yes, I heard that. It is 100% correct. Okay. I don't have any whole numbers, so it is going to be 0, my decimal comma, and I'm busy with tenths. Okay, so it would be 0, 8. That is what my decimal would look like. Alright. Now I need to complete my percentage part of the question, but in order for me to do percentage, my denominator needs to be 100. So what can I do to my fraction? Yes, absolutely. In order for me to change my fraction, I can use multiplication. So I have 8 tenths. I need to get that to another equivalent fraction. So I can multiply by 10 to give me 100. What I do to the bottom, I do to the top. Multiply by 10. So 8 times 10 is 80. And 10 times 10 is 100. That would give me 60. Oh, my word. Line. That would give me 80%. Guys, that is as easy as percentage can be. Okay, just get your denominator to be 100. All right. You're comfortable with fractions now. You're familiarizing yourself with decimals, and if you know your fractions, your percentage becomes easy. Okay, guys, just to point out something, okay, just to make everyone aware of it, fractions, decimals, and percentages are all different ways of representing the same thing. What do I mean? I mean the following. So 8 tenths can be represented as a decimal in 0,8. Okay, and 0,8 or 8 tenths can be represented as a fraction as well, which is 80%. Okay, but just remember, before I get to that, I need to convert my denominator to 100. Guys, that's all from me this morning. Enjoy your lesson, have fun, and it's almost weekend.